Hi, it's D. Jerome, the Tin Man in the Wiz, and you're tuned in to Rolling Out.
Today we're speaking with D. Jerome, who brings the Tin Man to life in The Wiz. Born Devontae Jerome Wells in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the North Carolina School of the Arts graduate has built a strong career across Broadway, touring productions, television, and film, including MJ the Musical, the Hamilton Angelica Tour, and Disney's Haunted Mansion. Now he steps into one of musical theater's most beloved productions. Brother, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
I'm excited to talk to you, brother. So let's jump right into it. What drew you to the role of the Tin Man in The Wiz?
Oh, the Tin Man, he's so much fun. You know, the iconic role itself, played by Nipsey Russell in the film, is something that definitely rings home. Just the classical jazz influence of the number itself slides some oil to me. You know, he actually incorporates his acting and dancing in there. We love that tab number. But this particular iteration of the Tin Man, I was drawn to because he had a different sense of humanity that he was able to play on stage. And so I'm excited to do that every night.
What does Tin Man Search for a Heart mean to you?
To me, the Tin Man has a heart, right? So in my mind, the Tin Man has a heart, but I think somehow the Wicked Witch's spell is what has made him believe that he no longer has a heart. What the Tin Man is looking for when he, in terms of trying to find a heart, is he's looking to see that particular type of love in the community. I think that's within amongst the friends. So when he meets Dorothy and the Scarecrow and then the lion tags along, I think him existing with his community and having that permission to kind of be himself and to know that he already feels deeply and he cares, even if his outer shell has to be somewhat armor for him to kind of protect his way of life or protect his own intentions and his own feelings. I think that the Tin Man figuratively is looking for that type of love that he's able to give. So he's looking for that within the community.
So, you're doing this musical now. However, before this one, you did MJ the musical and Hamilton. What
Yeah.
lessons did you take from those shows and to bring into The Wiz?
Beautiful, awesome. Well, it's interesting. Hamilton, for one, being a part of a great ensemble is something that I don't want people to take for granted. You know, a lot of times we get caught up in like, oh, who's the principal or who's the main character, you know, and that's very important. But having been someone in the ensemble and as well as a swing, it takes the entire company, the entire ensemble to pull off the show and to make it happen. So being a team player is what I learned working with Hamilton. And MJ as a swing, I just learned to be flexible, you know, be flexible, be malleable, you know. Every experience, every process is not going to be the same. But if you can show up authentically as yourself and show up with the will to give or extend your gifts generously, I think that is something that can always help make the space be productive and somehow, you know, birth just new light and new passion within your fellow artists.
I know I may not look it. I know I look young and everything, but I grew up
Dude.
on the Wiz, right?
Ah,
The early
okay.
the movie version with Diana Ross and Michael
Nice.
Jackson and everything, and it was
Gotcha.
always special.
Yes.
What makes the Wiz special for audiences today?
Today, this particular, well, the Wiz itself, I have to say the music. The music makes the Wiz exceptionally great for students, for family members, for people of all ages. The messages of overcoming and resilience and joy. Black excellence. Those messages ring true each and every time you hear the music. So I think audiences will be most excited about the comedy in our iteration of the show. I think audiences will enjoy the new take on how we're looking at it. It's like literally bringing ourselves, our personalities to these characters and then figuring out how we can tell this story with all of the components and variables in our show. So I think audiences will really love the fact that it's just a really down to earth, fun take on a story of joy and resilience. Yeah.
So it's a lot of singing and dancing in this role.
Yeah, it is.
So how do you prepare for such a physical role? How did you prepare?
Honestly, I prepared since I started doing this. I started out singing very early in, fifth grade, sixth grade with the crescendo chorus, then training at the School of the Arts, going on and getting a degree and continuing to work within my practice. That's how you prepare. You constantly work within your practice. Sometimes people use the term train. I don't like to use train. I like the word practice or condition. Once you condition yourself to the type of work that you want to do, you'll fall in love with the practice. You get what I mean? And as long as you can acknowledge that there is something drawing you to the practice, or that your purpose is deeper than what you can get out of it, I think that that's something that helps, for sure keep me grounded, and it has always served as my why.
So your take on the words train and practice is gonna coax me back into the gym. So thank you for that.
You just got to practice. Some days I just show up, and if nothing happens but a couple stretches, I am confident that the next time I get in there, maybe I'll do more.
There it
But
is.
sometimes it's just getting to, it's tricking your mind, just getting there and say, okay, cool, I got here. So what will I do? And then, day by day. So that's how I
Yep.
kind of use it.
You've mentioned starting this at 5 years old.
My faith. Honestly, my faith in God, it has served as a way for me to remain steady. It's served as a compass. Oftentimes, this industry is not so kind to actors and dancers and singers because there's such a vast pool of people, or talent out there. So they can find what they're looking for. But in knowing that everything that is designed for me is only for me, knowing that I can pivot, that helps me kind of stay in a positive mind space when it comes to this industry. So I've always been able to find the joy in the lesson or joy in the experience, even if it's a job that I'm auditioning for and I don't get it. I count it joy because I had to get there to get here. Maybe there's something I have to learn about this part of the process before I get to this part. So, my faith in God continuously keeps me grounded, and remembering why I started. Igniting passion within young artists and students. As an educator and a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, I always want to make sure that students and my colleagues can have experiences that are enlightening or that will transcend the space, and make sure that we are all working together and that we're looking towards progress.
Yes, yes. So you mentioned the fraternity that you're in, which I know has for sure shaped you. Who else has helped shape your career along the way?
Oh wow, that's amazing. I have to shout out Dwayne Cyrus, one of Martha Graham and Alvin Ailey's hired dancers. He's served as a great mentor. Leslie Owens Harrington is my manager, and she's been a great help. George Faison, Andre DeShields, these are people I got an opportunity to work with on the Wiz's 40th anniversary. And so being in the studio, hearing A Star Is Born from them was just like, oh wow, maybe I have something special here. I can really go out for it. Other people, Jeffrey Page, Darrell Grand Moultrie, actors like other actors, Keenan Wayans, like seeing a lot of people who come through and actually have given their time and their energy to the craft. People that look like me. And I will say
Mhm.
that because that is sometimes what we're looking for. Derek Luke, people who were doing really intentional work back in the day. Those are the folks that inspire me, and those are the people who I stand on their shoulders. Yeah.
What do you want audiences to feel after the show?
It gives them a better tomorrow. It's such a different time now. I think in our lives now we become desensitized because of social media, and so we're desensitized to a lot of things. But when they come to the show, I hope that they can escape while they're with us. But once they leave the show, I hope that they can be overcome with such gratitude, because our lives don't have to be our lives. You know what I mean? I think oftentimes we take for granted, the community that we share. We take for granted the gifts that we have to offer to other folks and offer to our community. So I just hope that people walk away with a greater sense of gratitude um and joy.
So let's shift gears here, our rapid fire segment. All right. So I'll just ask a few questions and answer the first thing that comes to mind. So let's go. So, favorite song from The Wiz?
So you wanted to meet the wizard,
Dream role.
Aaron Burr. But I'll say
Okay.
Hamilton,
Artist who inspires you.
Leslie Odom Jr.
Pre-show ritual.
10 deep breaths and putting a word of intention for each breath.
So I'm gonna steal that. Can I have that too? I'm gonna
Yeah,
take that.
sure. Hey man, it's actually locked me in. It's got me good now.
One word for performing live,
Experience.
and one word that describes D. Jerome.
Incomparable.
Yes, yes, yes. D. Jerome, brother, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can the people find you?
Hey, the people can find me on Instagram at d.jerome underscore. You can find me on Facebook as Devonte Jerome and D Jerome as well on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing you.
So they can come see you Tuesday, March 31st at 7 o'clock, Wednesday, April 1st at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., and then
Yeah.
Thursday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. I got that right, right?
Yes. So we'll be there Tuesday through Sunday.
So, brother, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
For sure, D. Jerome continues to bring his passion, discipline, and purpose to the stage as the Tin Man in the Wiz. He helps carry forward a production that has inspired generations through music, storytelling, and culture. This is your man, Eddie Precise Lamar. And as I always say, stay focused, positive, and productive. Peace.